We've all been hurt at some point, even abandoned. Many of us have done the hurting ourselves. We get to the point where we don't trust anyone, nor do we feel worthy of being loved by anyone. Then there's that one person who just doesn't give up on loving you. Their love is unconditional. Their love stays long enough for you to heal. And then they promise to never leave. That's love you can count on. God's love.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. David Evans of the PIC TV Network. Want to say hello to all our fans around the world. We have a special interview on today. I know you are going to be blessed in a great way. And I'm happy for the first time on PIC TV Network to have my sister, my friend, the Queen is on, Ramona Rogers. How you doing, Ramona?
I am well. Thank you so much, David Evans, for having me. I am awesome. And thank you again for having me as your spotlight interview.
I'm excited because we've been looking forward to having you on PIC TV Network, and you are finally here today. Yes. And we're just going to get into these interviews because I know people watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter, and we're going to link into our Instagram audience also so they can pop in. Those who are watching right now, this is a special spotlight interview we've been looking forward to having. Let's get right into it. Tell the whole world who you are today, Ramona. Come on.
Oh, thank you so much for asking again. And I definitely just want to commend you for doing a phenomenal job here on PIC TV Network, giving this spotlight interview to myself tonight. I am privileged and it's an honor. I am an experienced serial entrepreneur where I actually focus on CEOs primarily, as well as being a keynote speaker and a business consultant and awarded author as well. So I coach speakers. I also coach CEOs as well at all different various levels of business. I definitely give honor to my parents, who are definitely my inspiration, ongoing inspiration, as well as all of the phenomenal women, because I can't leave them out, right? So I definitely am a champion and an advocate of women empowerment. So that book that I wrote, as a matter of fact, when I became an author just last year in February, self-published author that is, and within 2 days, it hit #1 in 2 categories of parenting and relationships, one of the 2 primary roles of most women. And I also just want to make sure that everybody knows, everybody remembers that it is Women's History Month. So shout out to all of the phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal women out there. However, I also bring, David, 25 plus years of corporate world experience, as well as 8 years of law enforcement experience, which a lot of people on Clubhouse, where I first encountered you and met you, don't really ever hear me talk about a lot because we're on a social audio app of Clubhouse. And I never really thought that it would really make a difference or be important. However, all of those transferable skills that we all learn in all of those different variety of positions that we've held over the course of our lifetime up to this point are really transferable, and we never really lose them. And we always figure it out and find a way to incorporate them in everything that we do, which is exactly what I do today. So I'm also a professional Toastmaster certified speaker. And on Clubhouse, that is exactly what you do on an audio app, right? They just simply see a little button of you, a picture of you, essentially. And then what they really hear is they get to experience all of your knowledge, all of your skill, and your expertise while you're sharing on all of these phenomenal stages and rooms with all of these great business-oriented topics, which is really the rooms that I typically gravitated towards. So that is who I am, and that is what I do, essentially, in a nutshell.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. You know, the whole world has been waiting for you, and we see people popping in today to hear you on PIC TV Network. I want to say thank you again for serving and helping people all over the world. And
Quite welcome.
what you're doing is amazing. I really love the way that your spirit is. You always encourage folks. We were together in a platform this week. We were talking about being grateful.
Yes.
To come through COVID and to
Yes.
be able to be on Pick TV Network. This was something that we have been anticipating. I want you to talk a little bit more about your parents again, the role that they played in your life, and how blessed you are to have good parents.
Oh my goodness. Well, for one, first and foremost, I am actually blessed to still have both of my parents alive, well, and healthy, and nonetheless right down the street. I mean, how good can it get? It can't get better than that, right? So right down the street where I get to see them frequently, I get to support them if they need support. They and likewise them to me because I still have two younger kids, but I have four total. So my kids get the privilege and the honor of just being having their grandparents just a rock's throw away, just being right next door down the street. So that in itself is a blessing. I mean, just huge blessing. So to have them here still, in fact, my father will be 80 years old in about 90 days as well. So I am right there with him every step of the way and just watching him both still healthy enough to get around and everything on their own, still very independent. So I am definitely looking forward to that. Though some of those genes rubbing off and being just as independent as they still are in their mid to late 70s and headed for 80. So my parents were a very intricate part of me becoming who I am today. I have two business degrees as well.
Wow.
Yes, and grew up with two highly successful entrepreneurs, which was one, my mother, 30 years, over 30 years, and then my grandfather, over 50 years as an entrepreneur. I watched them build it from ground up with just their knowledge, skill, and expertise that they were able to acquire from their community and from other community leaders. So that is why I really wanted to highlight them today as well.
Yeah, I know they're going to be watching, beaming it in on Pick TV Network. I love the fact that you took time out to be an educated Black woman who just didn't try to, think you can just skip out on just God-given gifts. But I believe education with salvation makes a dynamic Christian and leader.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about the importance of education today? Because there's a lot of young people watching you and say, I don't have to get my degree. I can do rap. I don't have to get my degree. I can be an Instagram model. I don't have to get my degree. I don't have to go to school and do nothing. Talk about the importance of getting your education and going all the way through.
Absolutely. So yes, I would love to talk about the importance of education. But what I also want to highlight, which is what you pointed out, David Evans, is that many of these younger people from the younger generation think that they have to lose something in order to gain something. And education is one of those things. And what comes to mind that I don't want to leave out or miss is I remember Barack Obama actually saying that if you think education is expensive, and this is for all of the parents out there who may feel a little overwhelmed as they see their child growing through high school and getting closer to graduating. I was one of them actually. I have two older children as well. And they are encouraging their children to go to college, and their child might be a little apprehensive, a little overwhelmed with the thought of going off to college into this world of education, right? But the point really is not whether or not you can afford it. The truth of the matter is you can't afford to not educate yourself. Education is what is going to really connect you to everything else that you are going to need in the future. You can't see the future right now from where you're standing, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and 20 years or more from now, when you are now leading and guiding and directing your own families and your own children, you are going to now be able to look back, use all of that knowledge, skill, experience, and expertise that you received by way of educating yourself, and now be able to pass it down and break those generational curses potentially, that may be happening in your bloodline right now. So even if you did not come from an educated background, why not you decide to be the first in your family to go out and get your education so that you can break those generational curses? And sometimes I don't even like per se calling them curses, but your education is directly connected to your future. And as a teenager right now, because you're still young, because you're still in the home, you're being nurtured and everything is being provided. But one day you may not have everybody providing everything for you, and you will now be the leader of your family and have to provide everything for you. So why not? Why not make it a lot easier? Why
Right.
not go out and get an education? Because years and years ago, your ancestors did not have access. Now you do. And there is no reason or excuse why you cannot go out and get an education. And education will break those generational curses a lot quicker and easier than anything else. And if you think an education is expensive, wait until you see the price of ignorance, is what the quote
Wow.
is that I wanted to share from Barack, that I heard from Barack Obama. And it had that same powerful impact that it just had with you.
Wow, amazing. I love when you stated that, because a lot of people watching right now and the kids, they have this and they have apps, and they just don't have the mindset to go forth and get a degree. But education is the process of learning. It's your passport to the future.
Absolutely.
You have to be educated, and it only makes you better. My son is a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University, and my wife is a graduate of
Congratulations.
my wife is a graduate of UVA in 3 years. My other son,
Awesome.
Stephen Evans, he has his degree in IT. So it's
Absolutely.
very important. It's so hard to be an NFL football player star and an NBA basketball star. And even that, they're going back to get their education, to get their degree.
Absolutely. I was going to point that out. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because you did say early on that many of them would prefer to be a model or an influencer or a rapper or play professional football. But what if they were to get injured on the field, like many do, right? And then their career is ended. Now, what are your next steps? So, plan A is vital to have, right? Maybe plan A is professional football, but let's make plan B, because we don't want to put you in a box, or we don't want to restrict you from doing some of the things that you love. Maybe you will be a highly successful rapper or a highly successful NFL player, but why not also make a part of that plan getting your education as well? So I definitely would highly encourage you to not forget or leave off any of your dreams. Because remember, to get an education is only a limited time of maybe 4 years, max 6 years, if you go on to a master's or further, whatever you prefer. However, you have a full lifetime to still accomplish all of your dreams. And that's exactly what I did. So I definitely know it's possible.
And I love you for that. Folks, you're watching the Pick TV Network special. We have the Queen on today, Queen Rogers. She's on here talking about some amazing things. We have some guests popping on. I see the chats coming in. We're going to put your chats in on here today. We're going to take a commercial break. Don't touch that dial, folks. We want to welcome our audience from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Twitter for coming on today. We're on Pick TV Network. We have the Queen on today. And don't forget, we are here. We'll be right back after this.
Yeah, hey everybody, this is Marty Mangello at the United States Presidential Service Center, coming to you from having served 6 presidents now, and Dr. David Evans is doing a fantastic job with the Pick TV Network. Be sure to check out all the offerings on Pick TV. Go crazy, hit up about 10, 20, 30, 40 channels. The more support, the more watching, the more it grows, the better it does. And it is doing good, isn't it? It's a great thing that we all need more of in this world. Thank you so much. And don't forget, think Pick TV.
When President Biden and I took office, we decided to invest in the working people of America, to create millions of jobs, And as today's jobs numbers make clear, Bidenomics is working. Last month, we created 187,000 new jobs. That means today 187,000 more Americans are able to go to work, to provide for their family and invest in their future. Today's numbers reflect the point that President Biden has made many times. America's economy is strong and experiencing stable and steady growth. When President Biden and I took office, we decided to...
I had the privilege to be there on the stage with the press recording live that event in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, that must have been amazing.
Oh, it was electrifying to be. When you guys see that around the world, I was there with the press with my camera recording live.
I love that.
It was amazing because one of my friends, James, his wife was being awarded an award on that Friday, and she went from California to get the award. And I asked, "Can I go?" And she said, I don't know if I can get you in. I said, well, try. So they put my name on the list. I went over there. I had to go through security. They said, I had my press badge on for Pick TV Network. They said, Mr. Evans, we can't let you on the floor, but you can go on the press release and you can record with the press, with the Washington Post, and we're 13.
Wow.
I said, I don't have no problem with that.
You're gonna pass that up, right?
Yeah. So I was literally in the stage, and I met so many people from Washington, D.C. in that setting. And I don't want to ask you, how do you feel when you see an African-American vice president? This is Women's Month, like you stated. Talk about how do you feel? What does that do to you, Ramona?
Wow. Well, for one, I am the proud mother of 3 beautiful queens, daughters, myself, 4 children total. My oldest is Malik Smith, and he is my son, who I'm so proud of. My older 2 were also college graduates as well, Malik Smith, as well as my daughter, Raven Smith, who have given me my first 3 grandchildren, and that is Cairo Smith, who is 5, and then we have Azariah Smith, who is 18 months, and then Zamora Smith, who's only 3 weeks. In fact, she turned 4 weeks just yesterday, so 4 weeks now. But so just to let you know, I come from a line of powerful women as well. Many of them are educators and things of that nature. I have aunts on both sides, my mother's side and my father's side, that are educators and things of that nature as well. And from the community, my grandfather was a pillar in the community as well. So a lot of powerful women were always around my family, in my family as well, and in our community. So to see for the last 4 years that we have had a Black female vice president is, oh my goodness, it's heart-feeling, heartwarming. And you walk around with your shoulders a little bit taller, with your chest up and out, as well as your chin up and out, because you know now that there is someone at the pinnacle level of leadership over the entire country that looks just like you. And you now raise your own standards of how you move and how you operate and what you are out here in the communities, in the different states, wherever you are, making sure that you are also blazing a trail, setting an example for other women that are looking up to you as well, whether it be your daughter, whether it be other women who are struggling right now or who just need a kind word, which is exactly the room that you were just in with me this week, the gratitude room. Many of us were just coming in and speaking about what we were grateful for. And there was a lot of powerful women in that room as well. So everywhere you go now, you are now in the back of your mind, remembering that you're representing this one woman that made it to the top level of leadership and have the potential to even go to the next level if she so chose to do so. but she did
Wow.
it through education.
That's amazing. Ramon, I want to thank you again for coming on and inspiring folks. We have some guests popping in. Thank you, Bella's coming on. Thank you, Bella, for popping in, giving you some love. Atlanta is in the
Great
house.
friend of mine right here in Atlanta, Georgia. In fact, she works right here in Atlanta, Georgia for the mayor's office for years.
Yes, she
Very
does.
well connected, a very well connected, professional, and powerful woman in her own right as well.
Yeah, she'll be coming on Pick TV Network. We have Lady
Thank
Evans.
you, Bella.
Evans. She says, "Good evening. Thanks for being a leading woman and a role model."
Oh, thank you, Yvette. A pleasure,
Yeah.
absolute pleasure. I've met her before as well in your room,
Wow.
I believe, and absolutely powerful woman of God as well. So a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
When we have you on today, I want people to know how big this is. We have people in Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Paris, Peru, Argentina, Egypt, Canada, Ireland,
Wow.
West Africa, United Kingdom, Australia, Belgium, all through Roku, United States, watching around the world with interpreters. This is how big
Oh
this
my
is.
goodness. With interpretation. You can't get better than that.
We can't
And
get better than that.
in fact, I was just in the UK with my older daughter. That was in 2020, the end of February 2020. And then February 27th through the 2nd of March. And just a couple of weeks later, the shutdown happened. So my plan was initially to take each one of my children on a trip outside of the country. So Brazil was on the list. Paris, France was on the list. Great friends there.
Wow.
Samara in Paris, France. Hello, Samara, if you're watching, is in Paris, France. I have friends everywhere. I have friends in the UK, Scotland.
Wow.
Also, I just did a 24-hour Women's History Room on Clubhouse on March 1st, and kicked it off an hour before the day started. So it's really a 25-hour room. But a great friend of mine, Nala Naughton, out of Scotland, was there in the room sharing and speaking as well. And then many of them are all over the world, from all over the world in my virtual conferences with the Royal Influencers Organization as well.
Yeah, I'm excited again. When I have you on, I knew that bringing you on Pick TV Network was going to do several things. It would bring us to another level of people. It would bring you on Pick TV Network to expose your gift to our audience, to get that information out there. And somebody's good on television. When you're watching Pick TV Network, you see our commercials. It's your first time on. How does that make you feel to be on Pick TV?
Oh, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I definitely highly encourage any and everyone out there, by the way, to reach out to David Evans. And it's a well-ran, highly professional, top-notch network. So click that QR code and definitely give as well to and donate to Pick Network TV, because they are expanding and they want to reach even more people. And one of my big goals is to reach the lives of 1 million women and empower 1 million women globally. And we do that through networks just like yours, Pick TV. So I definitely just wanted to highly encourage everybody out there listening and watching. If you're enjoying the broadcast, then definitely don't hesitate to give and donate to Pick TV Network.
Yeah, we want to be able to get our own studio. We want to get some big broadcast cameras. We want to be able to sponsor people. This summer we have a virtual summer training camp for kids that we bring them on, and we don't even charge anything. We teach them about post-production, pre-production. We have, we show them how they can be entrepreneurs and talk about how important it is for young people to be focused. We got ChatGPT coming out. We got Sora coming out. We got all this stuff coming out with technology. But talk about how important it is to turn this down sometime or turn it off and use this. How important it is. And tell us about how you raise your kids. Talk about how you put balance in it. Give us some.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first and foremost, to all of the parents out there listening and watching, if you have young children that are teenagers or they are in elementary school and they love electronics, that is not necessarily a bad thing. However, monitoring how they use the electronics and how much or how long they are allowed to use it, maybe even putting restrictions on what they are allowed to use it for. And after a certain time, and making education priority as well. Maybe even say that you can't get on your device until after you have done your homework and you have verified that they have done their homework. That way you are now building in the balance. The balance is now going to be built in so that when they do get to high school and they're taking the SATs, and when they do get to college and they are now have a little bit more freedom and now they're more independent. They are now independent. You're no longer right there looking over their shoulder, right? But you've built in the discipline. You've built in that there's a time and place for everything. And you've also built in that they need to be strategic. You're giving them the foundation for being strategic of how they do anything, because how you do anything is how you're going to do everything. So if you're going to be all over the place and not have discipline as a child, then that is now just going to be an undisciplined adult. And they too, as an adult, will be all over the place. So picture them now as a child and who you really want them to be as an adult. And yes, you want them to be focused. In fact, the word focus itself is an acronym for me. It's focus on one thing until successful. Focus. Follow one course. Follow the F. O is one. C is course. The U until the S is successful. And that is exactly what you want to train them up to do.
Wow.
Is to focus on one course, one thing until they are successful at it. So what is the priority? It's also really more about priorities. What is the priority? You make sure that they get their homework first and their studies first, study for that test first, maybe even drill them and make sure that they know the material, and then say you can now have 1 hour or 2 hours based on their age, as long as you can show me that you can know exactly what sites to go to, and make sure that you're learning something from those sites as well. Now, if you're just scrolling and you're now comparing yourself, and every time you get off of social media, you come and say, well, Mom, I want this type of dress and I want that type of phone or that type of electronics, and you're not really gaining additional knowledge or expanding your knowledge from what you're consuming, then that is, I would say, the barrier for the parent to say, okay, this is what we're going to do to get organized and get a system. And as long as you can follow it, and as long as you're continuing to learn more about something you're interested in, because what we can't do also, David, and I really want to point this out, because right now with this modern innovation of AI technology, we do have to allow for their creativity, for them to use their creativity a little bit more and experiment and explore at home, so that they can also go out when they become a young adult into the workplace and compete as well. So that's another benefit to the flip side. But you want to manage the amount of time that you allow, and monitor how they're using it and what they're using it for, because it's also creating a lot of issues with self-esteem and things of that nature, and even depression in children as well, when they're sitting there just constantly staring at the screen. And then when they put it down at 10 and 11 and 12 o'clock at night, it's very hard for them to also start to settle down. And what's really playing over and over and over is what they're seeing. So we have to monitor their eye gate as well as their ear gate of what they're seeing and hearing to a certain degree, based on their age, of course.
That's awesome. And that's why I want you to have your own show on Pick TV Network, because we strive to bring education, information, inspiration, and we bring in entertainment last. I think as African Americans, when I started this tech network in 2020, I just didn't want to be another comedy network. I just didn't want to be another network where they come on and just make fun or we just make people laugh. I believe we have doctors, lawyers, teachers. I believe we have people who are like you, who are educators, who are like Bella, who are out there, Coach Evans, who are out there, who have grown in the community to be a community activist, community leaders. And we need to be showcasing the cream of the crop of what we have to offer to the world. So when you're talking to the young people today, it's sad because a lot of them are program or they're program minded. They live by the files. They live for the next text. They live for the next emails. Cyber crime is going out here. There's so many young people who committed suicide because of a text message, because they don't turn this off.
So true.
I mean, this has gotten so many young people in trouble because this never goes off. You know, so we have to have people like you to help the parents to say, wait a minute, let's get some discipline. Let's get some order. Let's use this first.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong. I have 2 teenagers as well. I did say that I have 4 kids, right? That was the priority for me in my household. And it still is, even for the teenagers. So if they're watching, I do have 2 younger teenagers. I did talk a little bit about my young adults earlier, but I have an 18-year-old as well. Her name is Raquel Smith. And then I have a 15-year-old, and her name is Nicole Smith, whom I am so proud of, both of them. But they are coders. They both have their certification in coding, which they got in the middle of the pandemic. So that is precisely. Now, do they love their phone as well? Yes. Do we bump heads about how much time they're used to spending on it? Yes. Are they, if they're watching and when they watch, will they be rolling their eyes going, oh my God, here she goes talking about that phone again? Yes, and yes, because I am going to continue to require and demand that they put their priorities in place and that they focus on the main thing. And then all of the extras will now be on the side, and only after that they have focused on those things that are priority first. And education is definitely first priority. And that has been spoke about, that has been beaten over their heads over and over and over again. And I will continue to do so. Because even if parents, speaking to all of the parents out there, you're going to get pushback, right? Think about when you were a 15-year-old trying to find yourself, right? And really trying to figure things out and still trying to experiment and explore with what the fad or the trend or things of that nature, right? So you can still relate. However, you can also still manage. And that's what I would highly encourage each and every parent out there.
And I want to say before we go to our next break, with AI coming and ChatGPT, it's stated that it will replace 800 million jobs.
Yes.
800 million jobs. That means people in the data world, people in the driving world, people, even when we call on the phone, it's a chat box. When you talk to, when you go through the airport, you can, you know, read and you go to the doctor. When you go to the grocery store, you don't see a lot of customer service people up there anymore.
There you go.
So with 800 million jobs, we have to teach our young people what to do now.
Yes, absolutely. So you don't want to restrict them to the point where you're not allowing them to experiment and explore. And not only that, David Evans, I don't know how old, I think all of your children are graduated and gone out of high school now and finished with college even. However, right now, my 2 younger girls has their own personal school issued laptop.
Wow.
There's no more books. I have not seen a textbook from school in 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
4 or 5 years. No more textbooks. Those huge textbooks that would fill their backpack. Oh, no. We are now on the cutting edge of technology, even in the school system. So guess what? They already have an electronic device. However, guess what the schools did? They put restrictions on it. They cannot go to different sites outside of the approved sites that are only used for the subjects that they are being taught in school on their school issued laptop. So guess what? Parents can do the exact same thing on your cell phone, on the cell phone that the parents are buying for the child to use. Not necessarily restrict them to the point where they can't use it, but monitor closely how often and when. And after a certain time, there's even apps, I believe, that parents can actually turn off the device. They can set a timer and have the device not even accessible after a certain hour as well. So that's something else that they can look into.
We have to pour into the next generation. We have to talk about subjects like this. Absolutely. Because, you know, it's too late once a kid sends a text message. And I personally heard of people who have families, and this text message, they committed suicide.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, a text message or this war, because they don't talk it out, they text it out. Exactly. It's a whole new generation. So I want to commend you. I want to commend you for raising your kids and teaching them the right ways. The Bible says, train them up while they're young. When they get old, they won't depart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also have a son that's a sergeant in the military as well. So I definitely wanted to give him a shout out and thank him for his service. So he has college as well. And I always spoke to him about the military is a backup, plan B. And then if plan B, you always go back to plan A. And he did just that. So I'm super proud of him as well. So that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit about your degrees, because the people don't know what your degrees are in. Tell them about your 2 degrees.
Absolutely. So my 2 degrees are, and I also have a certification in law enforcement from the School of Justice. That's Miami-Dade Community College in Miami, Florida, where I first started back in the 90s, by the way. And then I also have a business degree in business management with a specialization in human resources. And then I also have an associate's degree as well, and that is in business management as well. And I did start law school also. And then my grandfather got ill or more ill, and then he required 24-hour care. So I became a stay-at-home mom for that short time so that my mom can actually focus on and take care of him. So that is definitely something that has always been in the back of my head to go back and get that done and under my belt too. Something that I've always been interested in. So once that seed is planted in me, I just keep at it until I actually make it happen.
Wow. You know, when you just said something about your parents who are still here, my mother is gone. Mother, father, Evans are gone.
I remember you mentioning that on a Mother's Day room that we had. I believe it was last year.
Yep, 9 kids. They raised me, Kenny, Junior, Bobby, Esther, Edie, Elaine, Brenda, Dolly. See, they had 9 kids.
My father was a
Rolling Stone. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, we had a whole family, and I'm the youngest boy. But my parents, when they got older, I never got over my mother's passing away and my dad, because they were just like this to me. Talk about how important it is to be with your parents. There's people watching right now, don't even speak to their parents. You wasn't in my life, Dad. You wasn't in my life, Mom. I don't want nothing to do with you. Talk about how important it is, because you don't know until they're gone. We're right around the corner from Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yes.
Talk about, Ramona, right now, how it is important to honor your parents while they're here.
Yes. First of all, it's biblical. Honor your parents, honor your father and mother so that your days can be long. So it's biblical as well. And relationships are one of those areas that I also have a specialty in, which is interpersonal skills training that I received when I was getting ready to become, I was part of the CERT team when I was in law enforcement. And I was getting ready to become a hostage negotiator. So I had to, and I was a hostage negotiator as well in law enforcement. So there's pieces and all kinds of moving pieces to this thing that I do, right? It's a variety of skills that I have under my belt. Interpersonal skills training was one of them. It's how to resolve and diffuse an issue that you have with people, whether it be in your family, whether it be in the workplace, regardless of where you are. So I would highly encourage everybody out there to think about this. When you have an issue with a family member, whether it be a parent, whether it be a sister or brother or sibling that you are not speaking to, Whatever that problem is right now, today, that you are allowing your emotions to control and determine where the relationship is going to go, think of it this way. If they were lost tomorrow, if you lost that person, that mother, that father, that sister, that brother tomorrow, with that one thing that you are allowing to prevent you from having that relationship matter any longer, with that little argument, with that little one thing that they said to you. Not only that, let's talk about forgiveness, which is also biblical as well. And not only is it biblical, but it's not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you to release the angst, the anger, the pain, whatever it is. It's not excusing the wrong if they happen to be wrong, but we have to learn to forgive and to have a forgiving spirit and a forgiving heart, and forgive people the same way that God forgave us, and the same way that God forgives us still today on a regular basis. When sometimes we falter, and sometimes we aren't always right, and sometimes we've hurt someone's feelings, or sometimes we've said something that hurt their feelings or hurt someone, whether it be in the workplace or at home. But your parents, you only get one set. You only have one father and only one mother. And they, if you're anywhere in my age range, are very close to their end. So would you want to remember? And it looks like I am muted. Oh, there we go. I'm unmuted now. So would you really want something to happen and the end to come, and that's what you remember? And then you live with this regret of wishing that you had made amends, wishing that you had forgiven them. And again, forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is really for you. It is so that you can now release the anger, the pain, and receive the forgiveness that you deserve. And now open up all sorts of blessings as well, because forgiveness can also be a block, especially in business. That's also a strategy, by the way. When someone is struggling in business and they're stuck or stagnant, as a coach, I make them write down 5 people that they should be, that they need to forgive.
Wow.
So I also have a transformational coach as well. And when they do, they typically right away write down the names of the people that they are angry with, or that they have an issue with, or that they've been hurt by. And then my next question is, where are you on the list? Maybe you should have been number 1. You should have put yourself first, because once you can forgive yourself for whatever the case may be, then is when you can learn to forgive others. So have to be forgiving.
Yeah, and that's big. You know, I can't wait until you come on Pick TV Network and your show. It's going. I mean, the mindset that you have. We talked about family. We talked about kids. We talked about ChatGPT. We talked about the elderly. I have a very, very soft heart for the elderly, because one day I'm going to be there, and if we don't treat them right,
Absolutely.
you reap what you sow. For you to take care of mom and dad. We had a pastor. Thank you, Patricia, for coming on, Pastor Patricia Jackson. Thank you for coming in today. So a lot of people, the elderly are lost and forgotten. A lot of times I commend you so much. You don't know I'm giving you a virtuous help for being there for mom and pops, for not just putting them in the old folks' home and forgetting them.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not only that, I remember, as you were just speaking, I remember my father, as I was a child, I remember my father saying, whenever we were out and about, and little kids get very curious. And I was just one of those kids, always intuitive and curious. And I was always watching and things of that nature. And he said, "You see that elderly person over there?" He said, "That's a blessing. And you need to remember that, because that's exactly where we all want to be and get to one day. It's a blessing to become elderly and to still be here." And here they are now. And he used to pray as well when my children were younger. And he said, I just pray that I can see them go off to college. And now here he is. He's seen them go to college. He's seen one of them go to the military. And not only that, he's now seen them start their own families and have his great grandchildren. So he is definitely blessed, and he is definitely grateful. And he talks about it all the time still. And all of them, even my children, and now their children, have funny stories of of how he shares his stories about Vietnam and things of that nature. So it's just priceless, priceless.
Wow. And yeah, that's so amazing. I want to thank you for connecting with your audience again today. We just had co-pastor Patricia Jackson. Thank you, Ms. Jackson, for coming in. We thank again the Queen coming in from Atlanta, Queen Bella coming in, who works for the mayor. She's in, Coach Yvette Evans. These are people who we just know talked on. With the other people who are watching around the world, we have a special interview going on right now. We have the spotlight on the great, the awesome Ramona Rogers. Thank you for coming on today. Listen, we're going to take a commercial break.
Absolutely.
And we're going to bring in our
welcome. Thank you, Bella.
Yep, our Instagram audience coming on in a few minutes too.
Hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up about tonight's exciting event. At 8 p.m. on PIC TV Network Channel 1000, there's going to be a captivating spotlight interview with none other than Ramona Rogers, the brilliant CEO founder of Royal Influencer Organization. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And the best part? You can catch it on both Facebook and YouTube thanks to the PIC TV network. Get ready to be inspired and enjoy every moment of it. Dr. David Evans is the TV host.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.
They say your eyes are the windows to the soul. They're also the windows to your health because they let eye doctors see what's going on inside. Think about this. A comprehensive eye exam can be an early detector of serious health problems like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Shouldn't you see your eye doctor yearly? Go to thinkaboutyoureyes.com to learn more and for a list of local eye doctors. It could help save more than your vision.
Network special invitation today, presentation. We're here at the Black Caucus. Tell us, young man, what's your name?
DeAndre Days.
Wow. What motivated you to come today?
Something that motivated me to come today was to gain experience, to learn more about the Black Caucus and the things that are happening like DC.
Wow, amazing. You know, what school you attend?
Anacostia High School.
Wow, and what do you want to be when you leave school and go on your career path for life?
Something I want to be when I leave school and continue my path with like my knowledge, my journey. I want to do cybersecurity. I want to do that. I want to attend GW University.
You know, I want you to promise me 3 things. Promise me that you would not go take drugs, you would not go to prison, and promise me that you will be a productive person in society. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, we can.
And tell the whole world what the TV network you're going to be checking out.
PIC TV Network.
Let's go. Pick TV Network special interview here. We at the Black Caucus. Son, what's your name?
I'm Jeremiah Wright.
Jeremiah Wright, that's a big name right there. Jeremiah, what school you attend?
Anacostia High School.
What motivated you to come to the 2023 54th Black Caucus celebration this year?
I just wanted to learn something today. I just wanted to come have a good experience with something that I never experienced before. I just wanted to come here and learn something new, and yeah, that's really it.
Wow, you know, what grade you in?
I'm in the 12th grade.
12th grade. So when you graduate and come out of school, what are you inspired to do with your life when you come out?
I had aspirations of playing football in the NFL. Of course, I have backup as computer science. I would enjoy doing that, but I want to go to the NFL bad.
Man, I'm so proud of you, man. I want you to promise me 3 things. Promise me that you will not go on drugs, you will not go to prison, and promise me that you will be a productive person in society.
Promise.
Can we shake on that? Hey, tell the whole world, man, what's the TV network you're going to be checking out?
We on the PIC TV network with David Evans. Shout out to David Evans, man.
Thank you, son. Pick TV Network, we're here at the Black Caucus today. Son, what's your name?
Keon Williams.
Keon Williams. What school you attend?
Anacostia High School.
Anacostia. What motivated you to come today?
One, it was told to me about by my teacher in our street law program at the school. And also, another thing that made me want to come is to just get different experiences of people who look like me, what's in their mind, how they choose to show creativity, and how they express themselves in different ways.
Wow. What you plan on doing when you graduate with your life?
Right now, there's many goals in mind. Definitely anything under the lines of either sports management, kinesiology, physical therapy, or communication/broadcasting.
Man, your future looks bright, man. I want you to promise me 3 things. Promise me that you won't go to prison, you won't go on drugs, and you will be a productive person in society.
That's a promise. I can make that.
And tell the whole world, man, what's the TV network you're going to be checking out?
The Pick TV Network.
Let's go. Thank you, son. The Pick TV Network interview today with this young queen. What's your name?
My name is Erin Smith.
Okay, great. What school you attend?
I attend Anacostia High School.
Wow, what's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is science.
Science. What motivated you to come today to the 54th Black Caucus celebration in Washington, D.C. today?
What motivated me to come here today was one of my teachers in the NAF Academy. I'm glad they brought us here today to learn about more around the world and the options that we have. Even if you don't want to go to college, you can still be successful if you don't want to attend college. So I learned more about that today.
Wow. So when you graduate, what is your aspirations? What do you want to do when you graduate from school?
When I graduate from school, I want to go attend college to be a pediatric nurse or an environmental activist.
Very good. And what's the TV network you're going to be telling your family and friends about?
The Pick TV Network.
Let's go. Thank you. You did good. The Pick TV Network special interview. Hey, Dave, tell me why you brought these young people down here and what school they're from.
Well, these kids are from Anacostia Senior High School, Washington, D.C. I brought them down here because, give them something different to see, give them something different to experience outside of the life that they living in now. Right now, these kids are doing a dynamic, great job. They head of their classes in math, science, technology, and these are my future.
Right, man. Hey, Dave, how many kids you brought down here today?
Today, I think it's 25 students down here today.
25 students, man. I want to commend you because these students gave interviews today, professional. They are our future. And to have them on here to talk about Pick TV Network and what they want to be, inspiring other people. I want to commend you, brother, for doing an amazing job. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
They can reach me by email, APCYO, a Positive Change Youth Organization, at ymail.com. You also can reach me at 202-975-8533.
And what's the network everybody going to be watching?
Pick TV.
Let's go. Pick TV Network.
That was phenomenal.
I was watching you the whole time, smiling like you had $1 million. I was watching you in the back office, and you were smiling. Now we just tuned into our Instagram audience. I just sent you a link. We on Instagram now. Just popped it to you. We're live on Instagram.
Oh my goodness! Thank you.
So you got to give your Instagram shouts out. They're popping in from Instagram. So, but tell me, how did you feel when you seen those young kids? And I was there recording Pick TV Network at the Black Caucus last year. High school kids. They're not shooting guns. They're not killing each other. They're not out there gang banging. Tell me how you felt.
Wow.
Ramona.
I felt like I was watching my own children. I was just as proud as if I was their mother. Just as their mother, I'm sure, is super proud of them as well. Here they are on a school field trip being rewarded for all of their due diligence, their discipline, their hard work. And like you said, they aren't out on the streets getting in trouble. They are, like the gentleman said, at the top of their class in STEM, math, science, and things of that nature. You cannot help but just being in awe of watching the next generation. These are the next future leaders. It reminded me also of FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, that planted those seeds in me. I was a part of that in junior high, they called it back then, middle school now, of course. But in junior high, I was a member of FBLA. So, and it was my mother that would take me to all of these meetings, and that we went on field trips as well, very similar to that one that brought back memories while I was watching. And with COVID now, my girls, the younger two, 18 and 15, 3 years of their middle and high school years were homeschooled because of COVID. So I'm sure that they missed a lot of socialization and those types of experiences. But one thing that I've always been determined to do is make sure that they get those experiences. So we still take them out to places like that, especially every summer. We make it our business to take them out to places like that. And now it's not just taking them, but taking the grandkids as well. So I'm just super proud. That's why I couldn't stop smiling. I was like, oh, and not only that, I was smiling so big because, for one, I'm in awe of you giving them the mic and the opportunity to now have that first experience and memory, because they will never forget it. The first time that they spoke and they were on TV, are you kidding me? As teenagers in high school, they will never forget that experience. And I had a lot of those experiences when I was in FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, which you're now planting a little seed for me to kind of reach out to some of those same organizations that's in some of these high schools and pop in a little and you know, just kind of plant some seeds and pour into those children. And that's where it starts, right? We have to keep reaching down and pulling some kids up with us and bringing them along this journey of to success. And where they'll never forget it, by the way. Have you ever watched some interviews of some people who have arrived, and then they always say this one teacher said something to them, or I remember this one person that came to the school, and maybe they now, those kids that I just watched, will say, I remember going to the Black Caucus and David Evans from Pitt TV Network gave me the microphone and I had the opportunity to speak. He took the time to ask me a few questions. So that is very, very important. So I was just as proud of Pick TV Network as I was of those children for showing up and doing something that's making a positive impact. But one thing that I did do, because right here on my desk where I'm at, is I found this picture earlier and I shared it. This is me in uniform with 4 of my other family members. And one of them is a chief of police. One of them is an investigator. That's Arthur Washington, who's in the hospital right now. So I've been sending prayers up for him. He was the chief of police, and he was the first Black chief of police. He was the chief of 3 different, in Florida, in Miami, Florida, of 3 different stations, police stations. And then he was the first Black chief of police in Florida City.
Wow.
As well. So that's what I meant. Now I'm showing my age for one, and then I'm also showing some proof, social proof here, that when I did say that I come from a line of very highly successful people in my family and in the community. That it's from my grandfather, General Washington. He's not with us anymore, but my mother, I want to give her a shout out. She built a
Yeah.
beautiful business, highly successful entrepreneur for over 30 years, and a pillar in the community as well. And she actually serviced a lot of the leaders in our community also. And and my father, who definitely was their perseverance and their resilience, to never ever quit, never ever give up, and always striving for a higher standard and a higher ground. And just watching that as a child, being under their wing and watching that has definitely left an impact.
Yeah, and I love the way you just you have a way of connecting with your audience, which you connect with people and make them feel so honored, so special. And honoring your parents, it means so much. I see somebody else popping in. See legacy. Look at that. That's beautiful. And we want to again welcome our Instagram audience. We are Pick TV Network. It's a spotlight interview today. Queen Rogers is on Pick TV Network, and she's going to also be doing a show. We're talking about her spotlight, her background, her family, her education, what she's doing with her family. Before we close this broadcast, and we're going to go to another commercial, you're doing some amazing things and helping folks to be motivated and encouraged and inspired, and I believe that God's hand is on your life because what you're doing to motivate people. And you were I think you said it was a 24-hour room you were doing.
Yes, I have no idea what I was thinking, but yes, and I was there. Oh, wait for it, for all 25 hours.
25 hours straight. Wow.
I was. I mean, yes, it got a little rough after about 12 hours, but let me just say this though. I had a bunch of phenomenal people from Clubhouse that I met on Clubhouse, made connections with them. Araya McGarry's, the Nala Naughtons in Scotland. It's a global audience. Tracy Reynolds in Canada, Toronto, Canada. Tyrone Poole, two-time Super Bowl champion, came in and hung out with us as well. Great friend of mine as well, hung out and spoke a couple of times on stage and closed us out with a powerful Maya Angelou poem. Actually, The Phenomenal Woman, because it was for women, right? To kick off Women's History Month. And he read The Phenomenal Woman in that room to close us out. And then he gave us another phenomenal motivational and inspirational, because he's also a motivational speaker and speaks to a lot of youth as well, children in high schools and things of that nature, using his leadership. He was there. Cindy Stampo, who is the first generation and only female builder of luxury homes. C. Stampo Development in the Boston area. She popped into the room and hung out. Another great friend of mine. I have her personal number and we text and call each other and speak all the time as well. She popped into the room and hung out. And this is just parts of my network. Nelson Apega, who has just launched. He's a 27-year-old builder and developer, started by flipping homes at 19 years old, and now a highly successful builder and developer, multimillionaire at 27 years old. Spoke at a couple of my events. We also had Isaac Hayes III, who spoke at one of my RIO for short, but it's Royal Influencer Organization, Isaac Hayes, the R&B singer Isaac Hayes, not the father, not the R&B singer, but his son, Isaac Hayes III, spoke at my event. I posted it on my story. I asked, and he said yes. And in fact, I bumped heads with him in a couple of rooms, but that particular day, he was speaking about this app called Fanbase that he actually created. And I believe he had raised 3.5 million on the day that he spoke. And by the end of that month, he had hit 10 million raised for that particular app. And it's just where creators, kids as well as adult creators, can go and monetize their brand and their products and their services. And that's vital. That's important for us to highlight people who are doing things like that. And then now we also have Nelson Apega, the 27-year-old builder and developer, who's now coming out with Chatter, because when the app of Clubhouse started making all the changes that made it difficult for people to really connect with others, he now has been on that app forever and held probably the largest rooms on Clubhouse at this point that I can recall. And I will definitely be one of the main moderators and ambassadors for the Chatter app when it launches. It's going to be an audio-visual app. where you can actually do video. You can actually host broadcasts and things of that nature as well on that particular. So I can't wait to see Pick TV creating a channel there as well, and just connecting it somehow right here into your network here as well. So it's absolutely phenomenal.
They all coming on your show. I'm going to give you a show on Pick TV. All those names you just named, all those names you named,
all of my shows all the time.
You go bring them on Pick TV Network. This is huge. You know, because we on Instagram, we are blessed. I see that we LinkedIn, and we literally are sending a link into, let me see, Fantasia. We sending the link into, we just when you're on Instagram, you can hit the stars too. So we got the stars. Will Smith, you got, it's so many people because we on Instagram now.
Yes, you can pretty much connect with everybody. That's the beauty.
You can connect with everybody. Stars, millionaires. That's the beauty
of social media. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I have a phenomenal network of phenomenal people, and I am just proud that I have been able to.
What was your last numbers on Instagram? What was your last numbers that you have? How many folks on Instagram?
Oh, 5,000. I forget, like 5,600, somewhere in that range, if not a few more or less, somewhere in that, definitely over 500, and in the mid range, 5,500 or 600, 5,500, 5,600, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I think you're being modest because it looks like it's more here than you said. I think you keep it numbers low because you don't want everybody to run over there. But I'm looking.
I don't pay attention too often, but on Clubhouse, I know it's about, I don't know, Clubhouse probably total is about right at 20,000 on Clubhouse, combining all of my houses. I have a leadership house. I have a women of wealth house, women of wealth and health and vision house. I have a Speaker Nation house because I definitely coach speakers as well. I have a Speaker Nation house. And then I have the Royal Influencers Organization house. And I know that one has 6,000. There's 10,000 in the 10,600 in the Ramona's house. And then I have about 3,000 or 4,000 in a few other houses. So collectively have to be right at 20,000 there. And then on Facebook, probably right at 4,000, somewhere in that range also. And I know on LinkedIn this week, I'm right at 4,900, almost 5,000 on LinkedIn as well. Wow,
that's huge. And this is what I'm talking about. Bringing in the Pick TV network, you doing the show here, helping us, our network. This is your network. We've been trying to do this for a year now. I want to say,
absolutely right. I remember the coaches group, the group of women coaches. That's where I met your wife, I believe.
Yeah,
I was there in that room and met them. Also connected with them off of the app. Also, that was phenomenal. Doing phenomenal things.
And it feels good to be on our network where we don't have to, be censored and somebody saying you can't do that. You can't. This is our network where you can be free to bring whoever you want on. We can talk about subjects and inspire and encourage and motivate folks on there. We're not limited by what you can and cannot do. And I want to say thank you for just blessing us. Now you got to talk about one of the favorite places you like to visit. Give us one of the cities when you take a break, when you chilling, where would you like to go?
Oh my goodness. Well, every single year for the last 8 years prior to COVID, Panama City, Florida. Now, I am a native of Florida. I was born and raised in Florida, Miami, Florida, thanks to Mary Rogers, my mom, and Joe Rogers, my father. So when I sold my home 18 years ago, I left Florida because of the hurricane season. But I really missed the beaches, and I really love the 24-hour tropical weather, 24/7 tropical weather that you get there. The sun, the palm trees, the beaches. Absolutely beautiful. So anytime anyone wants an escape, they think of an island or the beaches, or you think of the ocean with the palm trees and the breezes and things like that and the white sand. Well, that is what I missed when I moved. However, I didn't regret the move because I sold a home there, came and brought what I called my dream home. Now I have a second dream home that I am definitely dreaming for. So with that said, with this business that I just launched of Rio, it's definitely going to get me there. So that's where I took my children, where my girls and even my older two, in their last few years of high school, just to make memories and spend some quality time. And they too miss the beaches as well. So we would always migrate back to Panama City Beach, shores of Panama. Look it up. It is absolutely stunning. Beachfront, every single room open to the ocean. We would be up on the 9th or the 20th floor or 22nd floor and literally sleep with the doors open and hear the waves in the ocean right there. And you would walk out of the back of the hotel, walk by the restaurants, and you would walk by the jacuzzi, and you would walk by the 2 or 3 different pools, and then you would walk right by the tiki hut where they were serving food and things of that nature, and walk straight into the ocean. And those experiences are just priceless. So anywhere that there's water, but Panama City Beach, Florida.
Panama City Beach, Florida. Here we come. we got to come down there. I mean, you just took us on the tour. I can see that water while you're talking.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, you made me want to go down there.
And it looks like a postcard. Postcard sunsets, postcard. Oh my goodness. The ocean looks like a postcard. So definitely one of my favorite places in the States. But Paris, France. I'm headed to Paris, France. In fact, I have a speaking engagement that I was invited to in Paris, France as well, as a few other different places. But Paris, France is where I plan to speak to women delegates, no less. Speaking of Women's History Month.
Yeah. And we want to give a shout out to all the women out there. And please watch the repeats. We're gonna play this all month long. This show is on repeat. You can see it tonight, tomorrow, next week. I want you to talk about how people can get in touch with you. How can they get in touch with you? Somebody watching now.
Awesome. So as I just mentioned, I am on all social media platforms. So on Clubhouse, Radical Ramona, at Radical Ramona, or just look up Ramona Rogers. On IG, at Ramona Rogers 959. On not Clubhouse. I'm sorry, I already mentioned Clubhouse. On Facebook, it's Ramona Rogers Smith. And Smith is my married name, and now I use both anyway, so both are legal. So it's Ramona Rogers Smith because I had Facebook years ago before I divorced. And then on LinkedIn, it is Ramona Rogers as well. You can definitely search me and find me under Ramona Rogers on LinkedIn. And I'm also on Threads, and that is Ramona Rogers also. And you already, those people who do know or have IG, you also know that Threads is connected directly to IG. So if you find me on Threads, then you just look up at the upper right and you'll see IG. Hit that little IG button and you can now follow me. Follow me on all social media sites. But I am also on YouTube, and that is my Queendompreneur TV channel on YouTube. In fact, one of my last virtual conferences, we did live stream it on YouTube. So you can go back and watch me in action and watch some of the speakers there as well.
Wow, that is huge. We're going to touch the world, folks. And those who are watching right now, this is the kickoff of something great. And the spring is going to pop off. A brand new show coming on PIC TV Network. The Royal Empowerment Group. I mean, this is the place. This is the place right here for us, folks.
Definitely been planting those seeds for at least a year. At least, I think it might be a little over now, but at least a year he has been planting that seed to start the show, and it's definitely something that I've always wanted to do as well. So,
in God's time, everything is beautiful. He makes everything beautiful in this time. We're gonna take a break, folks. We'll be right back with the closing words after this.
Counts on me. Don't be worried. Cast all your troubles away. Wherever you're going, just know that I'll be there. Count on me, put on your smile. No need to frown, 'cause I'm here. Just look to me, and it will be alright. Just take a breath and look around, 'cause I have never ever let you down. My love for you will never
talk to me, and it will be alright, alright. Just take a breath, and look around. I have never ever let you down. My love for you will never fail. I'll be here forever. Yeah. You can count on me. But you can count on me. I know you're worried, you're afraid, but trust me, you can count on me. Said I'll always be there, I'll never leave you. I know the others have failed, but I will be right there for you. Just take a breath and look around. I'll never let you down. Never let you down. And I never will. You can count on me. You can count on me. I said I'll never let you down. People come and they go, I'll never but I'll be. You can count on me.
That was my son Amos Evans singing, you guys. So y'all gotta support him.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. I was sitting here enjoying that. I'm like, wow, beautiful music. Oh my goodness.
That's him. He's a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University. His SAT was 1960 on his SAT.
Wow.
He did in the world. Yeah.
Congratulations. Great job.
Yeah. He's a musician, singer, songwriter.
Oh, he's very talented. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. His birthday is on the 31st too, so I'm gonna give a shout out to his birthday.
Oh, there you go. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Amos, in advance.
You gotta give some shouts out to you got family members and loved ones watching and friends. Come on, give some shouts out.
Absolutely. Shout out to my mother, Mary Rogers. Shout out to my father, Joe Rogers. Shout out to my brother, Rodney Rogers. Shout out to my sister, Rhonda Golette, as well as shout out to all of my amazing children, Malik Smith, who has given me my 2 beautiful granddaughters, and shout out to Raven Smith, who has given me my firstborn grandson as well, who is my right hand, and shout out to my beautiful daughters as well, the last 2, Raquel Smith and Nicole Smith. I am so proud of all 4 of you, and you just fill my heart and everything that you are getting ready to do, and the future is yours. I definitely want to let them know that right here on Pick TV Network as well. And then definitely want to say shout out to my niece and my nephew, that's Marlon and Maya Golette as well. So thank you. I don't want to take up too much time, but thank you so much again, David Evans, for having me here on Pick TV Network for your spotlight.
It's your show. I mean, this is your first kickoff for something beautiful in the network. I can't wait to bring you back on because we're going to have a fun, I call Pick TV Network fun time when I ask you, would you like hot or cold? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Okay.
That's my fun time. We gonna get into the fun time. We gonna get, and then we have some little gift cards we're giving away this year. So when you come up there, you get all the right answers. You can get a gift card. So we're excited about Pick TV Network. You made me and this audience. People still chatting in because I can see what you can't see. They still chatting in. They still chat.
Bella is still here.
We still chat there. We got Instagram. Our Instagram audience popping on. So this is not the last time, folks. The Queen has been here.
Shout out to my sister, Rhonda Golette. I did mention her already, but shout out to Rhonda Golette as well.
Wow.
Who my kids just absolutely adore. So definitely didn't want to miss that. So I want to also, if you don't mind, I also want, because you did ask a very important question, David, earlier, where you said, what would you say to the parents, or what would you say to people who aren't speaking to who are estranged from their loved ones? But I did write a book. I'm a self-published author. And I believe I did mention early on in the beginning that it hit #1 in 2 different categories of parenting and relationships. Now, get this, I did not set out to write it for parents or relationships, but the title of the book, it is on Amazon, by the way, and or if you go to www.royalinfluencersorganization.com, and my link is in the bio on any of my social medias. I definitely make sure that my link is there as well. So you'll find it there. You can also purchase it from my link directly, which is what I would prefer. However, it is on Amazon. And it's called How to Put the Power Back in Empowerment and Build a Business, a Ministry, or a Relationship. So it right there built inside of that book that I personally wrote long before AI, in the middle of the pandemic is when I wrote it. But right there, built right in the middle of the book, is a 30-day empowerment course built into the book in the middle. For 30 days, each day for a month, you will be given, or you are given, an exercise to implement that's going to help you build your empowerment and empower yourself. Again, putting the power back in empowerment, to empower yourself to gain the emotional strength and the emotional intelligence to overcome any obstacle that you might be facing. So you ever wanted to build a business, but you're gripped with fear, then that 30-day empowerment course will help you do that. You wanted to reach out and mend a broken relationship with a loved one, that 30-day course will help you do that as well. You are a teenager, you're 18 and 17 and you're getting ready to graduate, or you struggle with relationships, that 30-day empowerment course, buy it as a gift. Mother's Day is coming, just as David mentioned. Mother's Day is coming. People will have birthdays. Go out and get the book. In fact, for the first 6 months after it was only $2.99 for the first 6 months that I published it, because I did not want money to stop anyone from becoming empowered. So now, of course, it's regular price, but nevertheless, it's 20% off if you go to Royal Influencers Organization, or any link in any of my bios on any social media site. 20% off today.
That's big. I mean, we got to support that. I mean, we got to go over there and buy all your books. It's a beautiful time to support what you're doing. And we're excited. I mean, I am so happy again. There's with some more people still popping on. Look at Co-Pastor Patricia Jackson saying, awesome show. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Pastor Patricia Jackson, a pleasure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Connecting with our audience and reaching the world one person at a time on Pick TV Network. We're going to get ready to close this show, folks, but you can watch the repeats. Go right back on. It's going to play over and over and over again. And Queen, we can't wait for you to come back on Pick TV Network. I'm going to jump on Instagram with you, because we're going to tell everybody how good this was. And we got to go on Clubhouse, tell them how great this show was.
Absolutely.
You coming on. And I created a post on Instagram called Pick TV Stars, because I want to reach the stars. Awesome. They let you know this is a safe place. We don't have to worry about drama. They don't have to worry about, acting crazy. So we want to invite DL Hughley to pop on and check us out.
Oh, wow.
Check the entertainer. Yeah, we want to write all of them. All the stars can come right on Instagram and come on. We come on, and we're gonna be giving them some love. Taraji, we're gonna give them some love. Yeah, all the stars right here on Pick TV Network Stars Instagram. We created this just for the stars. So you on the stars right now. Matter of fact, I'm looking at you on Instagram right now on my phone.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I absolutely love it. Hello, Instagram family and friends out there.
Yeah, that's you right there. You're on Instagram
that's awesome.
right there.
Hello, it's been a pleasure on Pick TV Network. Absolute pleasure.
And we want everybody,
as
you stated earlier, as we close this broadcast, those who want to help the network, you can go right to the QR code and support Pick TV, because we're a network out here trying to do it with the right way.
There you go.
The right way.
Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, the right way. You don't have to undress. You don't have to fight and curse. You don't have to do all that crazy mess.
Exactly.
Let's showcase what we got from up
There you
here.
go. There you go. There you
Use
go.
our minds.
Absolutely.
You know, Maya
And that's
Angelou, use hers.
yes, absolutely. And that's exactly why I really went back to where I started, which was coaching, because I was coaching at the corporate level with over 25 years experience and ran as a regional manager, one of the most productive regions back then for a company. And now I went back to coaching because there are so many people throughout the pandemic that pivoted away from corporate America and went out on their own now to create their own economy. And now they might have hit this pivotal moment in their business where they have hit a ceiling, or they don't know what the next step is to get to the next level, or they don't know where to start. They've always wanted to start a business and they don't know where to start. Unbeknownst to them, we were in the middle of a pandemic that nobody saw coming, and they either lost their job or their company shut down or whatever the case may be, that left them trying to figure out a way to sustain themselves. And that's where there has never been another time where more women have now become business owners, and they are succeeding at a very high level and high rate. But not all of them went in with as much experience as I would have going in to a business, or as much experience as others who had a lot of corporate background experience and things of that nature. So thank you so much, Bella and co-pastor Jackson. So yes, so that is exactly why I said that I am now 30% off of either mentorship or transformational coaching. Now, these packages are typically as high as $7,500 and $10,000 packages for 6 months to a year. But they are priced well below. They aren't even in the vicinity of anywhere near those. And all of the greats had a coach, by the way. Oprah Winfrey had a coach. In fact, Maya Angelou was one of her coaches and mentored her as well. And Michael Jordan, let's not just talk about the women, even though it's Women's History Month. Michael Jordan, guess what? He had mentors and coaches. And then he went on to continue to coach and mentor people like Kobe Bryant and all of the other greats that came behind him. And that's exactly what a coach and a mentor does. They help shorten the learning curve to prevent you from wasting the same time that it took them to get where they are, and preventing you from all of the losses that they had to suffer and encounter. So they are your help. So that is what I do it for. That's why I do it. So I coach some phenomenal women who have had breakthroughs. I have 2 authors that broke this month. 2 authors are now published authors now that I coach. They were not authors before. And I'm going to go ahead and shout them out. Empress Toniette, congratulations for becoming first-time published author. On Amazon.
Yeah.
Give her. First-time author, created a phenomenal Nurturing the Caregiver book and guide, a caregiving guide on Amazon. First-time published author on Amazon. 2 of them in 1 month. So there you go.
I want them on Pick TV Network. You tell them that the president said, I want them, and I'm going to showcase their books on Pick TV Network, because we can bring them up here and we can put their book on the screen. We can showcase them.
That is amazing.
We can bring their books right on the screen and let them talk about their books while they're on. So this is amazing. You have something that's going to help our network excel and grow more.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait. I can't wait. This is a historical moment for 2024 for Pick TV Network, because you're going to bring some great people on the show to interview them, to bring them on. You know, and what I love about your spirit is that you're a beacon, you're a light. I can see more people. The longer we come on, the more I can see these numbers growing. I see it right now. I can see people coming on right now. The longer me and you talking, if we go 24 hours, our channel's gonna be blow up.
Oh my goodness, that's
more people starting to come on because they see us in different time zones of people coming on, because in California the time is a little different, you know. Yeah, and so when we broadcasting, we literally broadcasting around the world. So the longer me you stay on, you got people popping on from Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Paris, Peru, Argentina, Egypt, Canada, Ireland, West Africa. They all boom pumping on. Australia, Belgium, yeah. So we're gonna put this thing together. This is gonna be a hot show. I want to thank you for coming on, and please, everybody, watch the repeat. Watch the repeat. Watch the repeat.
Speaking of California, shout out to my 19-year-old mentee, Christina Baca, living with a chronic illness. I definitely didn't want to leave her out as well. She is my right hand in all of those Rio events, bringing people up on stage, bringing people off stage, and sending out the letters to all of the speakers, making sure they show up on time. And I could not have done it without her. She too, I started mentoring her at 18. She met me in a room and she said, "You are my mentor now. I'm following you all over Clubhouse." And now we talk every day. And I actually gave her some work. One of my clients needed some extra work. I gave her that work and she knocked it out just like clockwork. She is now 2-time author and in real estate school. Some of the things that she was able to accomplish in just a short time, I cannot imagine what she is going to do.
I want you to have like a 2-hour love marathon. I'm going to let you come on for 2 hours and you bring all of them on here, give them some shots out.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to put their names up. Give 2 hours. We're going to go 2-hour love marathon and bring them all up here. Bring them all on.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, that's the one thing that I really wanted to highlight, though, is the power of a good, solid coach that wants to help you take your life to the next level. You're struggling with self-doubt. You're struggling with limiting beliefs. You're struggling with fear. You are not alone. Guess what? So did I years ago, of course, but so did I. And those strategies, those coaches that I had the fortunate experience of being exposed to, like the Bob Proctors and like the Jack Canfields, that my company that I was working for as a regional manager at 19 years old, mind you, they brought all of those top level coaches to the company. And those coaches mentored and coached me up. And that's how I was able to have the confidence to go out and do all of the things that I did. So along with my first and foremost coach was my mother and all of the other phenomenal. I just showed you a picture full of family members, and that's only half. That's only not even half. But all of the others that came before me that blazed the trail, and that's exactly what I'm here for, David, is to blaze the trail for other people.
You doing it. You are blazing the trail. You set the rock. You set this bar real high coming on here. When you start naming folks like Stump Supo and you start naming those Isaac Hayes III, those people are already millionaires. They're already in a whole different bracket.
Yes.
And you know them. You have cell phone connections, talking with them.
I do.
That is huge.
Yes.
That is huge. Pick TV Network, we're going to go off right here, but we want to thank our special guest today, folks. It's been History on the Network. Pick TV Network is your network on Roku. Please watch the repeats until we come back again. God bless you, everybody. Thank you for this broadcast.
Bye-bye, guys. Click that QR code.
When President Biden and I took office, we decided to invest in the working people of America, to create millions of jobs. And as today's jobs numbers make clear, Bidenomics is working. Last month, we created 187,000 new jobs. That means today 187,000 more Americans are able to go to work, to provide for their family and invest in their future. Today's numbers reflect the point that President Biden has made many times. America's economy is strong and experiencing stable and steady growth.
Hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up about tonight's exciting event. At 8 p.m. on Pick TV Network Channel 1000, there's going to be a captivating spotlight interview with none other than Ramona Rogers. the brilliant CEO founder of Royal Influencer Organization. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And the best part? You can catch it on both Facebook and YouTube thanks to the PIC TV network. Get ready to be inspired and enjoy every moment of it. Dr. David Evans is the TV host.